I'd like to invite CA Nihar Niranjan Jambusaria, past President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, to also please come up on the stage alongside Advocate Vijay Kumar Jhalani, Government nominee in the Central Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Can we have our three distinguished guests please join us on the stage? So which is the film that you like of Anupam Kher? Which film do you like? Saransh? He was, I think, in early 20s, and he played the elderly with such aplomb. Which is the other film that you like? Which one? Wednesday. Both Naziruddin Shah and Anupam Kher. Fantastic. Over to Dr. Gopika now.
Check. Thank you so much, Amit, and good evening, everyone, to an absolutely exhilarating session coming up next. And the theme for this session now is Transform Your Life with Positive Thinking. We have our distinguished guests for the session today to get inspired from our eminent speakers and get tips on transforming our life by using the power of positive thinking. Let's put our hands together in welcoming and being able to put our hands together for CA Nihar N. Jambusaria sir, past President ICAI, to welcome him here. And respected and honorable Advocate Vijay Kumar Jhalani sir, Government nominee, Central Council member of ICAI. Can we have a big round of applause for them, please? Before I introduce our distinguished guest for this session today, can we have the AV, please? Anupam Kher, Indian film actor, former chairman of FTTI, motivational speaker. Sir is the recipient of 2 National Film Awards and 8 Filmfare Awards. He's acted in over about 500 films and many plays. He's an acclaimed motivational speaker. He's previously served as the chairman of Central Board of Film Certification and the National School of Drama in India. Let's put our hands together to welcome Mr. Anupam Kher, please, with a big round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. We are indeed honored to have you amongst us today. And at the onset now, I would now like to invite respected CA Nihar N. Jambusaria sir, our past president, ICAI, to kindly address the session.
Thank you, Gopika. Good evening, everybody. Respected Anupam Kher, today's speaker for the evening, Advocate Vijay Jhalani ji, all the dignitaries of the dais and the participants in the audience. Welcome to this last but one session of the World Congress. And today, when we are holding this session on transforming life with positive thinking, I think you will all agree that for all these 4 days, we have all witnessed absolute positive vibrations in this venue prevailing for all 4 days, and events after events being witnessed so joyfully by all the participants. Friends, this topic comes from a thought that today, when in the world so much of uncertainties prevail, so many negativities prevail in the form of a war, pandemic, landslides, flood, energy crisis, food crisis. What is the relevance of positive thinking, and how can we turn around and transform our lives completely with positive thinking? And I may take this opportunity to give 2 or 3 practical examples. I remember the time when last year, around August or September, the final decisions were being taken for this World Congress, and it was being discussed at IFAC whether we should have World Congress in November 22 or it needs to be postponed because of the pandemic still not completely going out. And I remember that from India we sent all positive vibes that with vaccination and fast rate of receding of this pandemic, there is nothing negative. We must start preparation and hold the World Congress. Finally, time came when everything turned positive. Of course, not only with positive thinking, but also with our positive actions for preparing for this World Congress. And today you will all agree how successfully the World Congress is coming to almost an end. I may give one more example of positive thinking which brings positive result, turns around negative situations. Last year we were to hold final CA exams on 5th of July. The exams were announced and some activists were in the court because of pandemic. They were apprehensive whether the exams can be conducted safely. On 3rd of July, the apex court gave us verdict that okay, go ahead with the exam. And this also happened because at the court we presented all positives, all care that we had taken, and without worrying about anything, the council, the examination committee continued its preparations and the exams were held. These are just few examples how with positive thinking, how with positive thoughts, everything can be turned around and the life gets completely reformed. Even if we talk of this pandemic, the climate change, it gives tremendous opportunities to professional accountants like us to perform on sustainability and set examples for governments that accountants, the professionals can be the leaders, come to the rescue, and with positive thinking, positive actions, we can help situation to improve. Accountants generally are afraid of new developments, and I remember when technology was taking over, at that time also we were apprehensive whether it will take over some of the functions of professionals. And we have witnessed during the pandemic that with the use of technology, by being on top of technology, how we overcame so many problems. Friends, today we have a speaker who is a motivational speaker. If we look at his life, I remember 2 major incidents. We remember when you were 28 years old and you performed in Saransh. It was also a sign of absolute positivity at the age of 28, doing the role of a 70-year-old. And very recently, we watched you in Unchai, which is your latest film. How at this age you perform positive role and set examples for all youngsters and the entire population as to how positive thinking can turn around your complete life. So with this, I welcome you to this session. I will not stand between you and Anupam Kherji, and let us at the earliest start the session and listen to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the stage to the theme of this session. And I will now request our respected CA Nihar N. Jambusaria, sir, to kindly lead the discussion on how one can actually transform oneself for positive thinking along with Mr. Anupam Kher.
Thank you, and let me at the outset thank you for agreeing to come here and address so many accountants, professional accountants. And I will give you an overview of participants who are present here. We have in the audience the President, Deputy President of International Federation of Accountants, past Presidents of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It goes without saying, President and Vice President of the Institute and Council members. And there are participants from across the globe. We have around 2,000 participants from more than 100 countries of the world who are participating today. And they are all eager to listen to you. For quite a number of hours we were being asked questions when this session is beginning. So that is the kind of enthusiasm that is prevailing to listen to you. Again, thank you for making it for us. Sir, I may ask one question which you may answer from the experiences of your life, and we have witnessed it. That positive thinking is not something which can be practiced in response to an event, but it should be a habit, or maybe it should be the culture built in a person which would help in every negative situation which may come up as a surprise. So how do you guide the members present here? What kind of positive thinking should be built? What kind of habits or culture a person should build to overcome any negative situation? Of course, planned with firm actions, which goes without saying.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this place. We know whenever I see a huge gathering of such illustrious people, I smile to myself, because I never got more than 38% marks in my life. And I don't know why my positive thinking is telling me that I should stand and talk to these people rather than sit in this chair. But you are most welcome to sit down and... Oh my God, this is nervous. I get nervous when I see such wonderful crowd. So, when I come from a very poor family. Means when I was born, my father was a clerk in the forest department, and we were 14 people in a small room, and my uncle, my aunt, my grandparents, their children, and my father's income was 90 rupees per month. But we were very happy. Now there are different adjectives used for poor. You have said lower middle class, upper middle class, upper middle class. But at that time it used to be either you are poor or you are rich. There was no these politically correct statements made earlier. But we were very happy. So one day I asked my grandfather, I said, Dadaji, we called grandfather Dadaji. I said, Dadaji, we are very poor. Why are we so happy? So he gave a very wonderful answer. He said, when you are very poor, the cheapest luxury available is happiness. So I think that's where my positive thinking started, sir. that we are happy. We did not discover that there is something called better than this. And at a very young age, my father took away the fear of failure from my life. People are scared of failure. Because of the failure, you are negative, you are pessimistic, you are not optimistic because you have this fear of failure. But at the very, very young age, I was in 9th standard, my father took away this fear of failure. So I'm sure, before that, I must ask all of you, how many of you have got more than 50% marks? Please raise your hands.
Sir, the threshold
No,
of passing
I know, sir, I know CAs 3% make it to the CAs, I know. How many of you more than got 80% marks? And still you are in the audience and I am standing on the stage. That is positive thinking. I don't want to run down anybody, but I am a sum total of my positive thinking. Whatever I have achieved in the last 38 years being in films, 532 movies, that's not only based on talent, that's also based on positive thinking. So I was telling you about my father. So I went to my father with my report card. You know, you had to get it signed by your parents. They had to sign it. I'm sure you have done it. So my father saw my report card and he said, "You have come 59th in the class?" I said, "Yes, Dad." He said, "How many students are in the class?" I said, 60. So he took a pause, and in that pause I thought he's going to get angry with me, he's not going to talk to me, he's going to say, "What are you doing?" So then he took a pause and he said, "You know, a person who stands first in his class has always this tension that he has to come first. Even if he is second, he thinks he has been demoted. But a person who comes 59th can always come 48th, 37th, 28th, 19th, 8th. So do me a favor, next time come 48th. And then he added a sentence. He said, "Remember one thing, that failure is an event, never a person." So for those people who understand Hindi, he was Baap of positive thinking. So I think it's you're born in an atmosphere where you learn. When you are from a small town, small place, and you're not very good at studies. I was very bad at sports also. One day my PT teacher saw me running and he said, "Stop it. Even if you run alone, you will come second." I have not till today discovered how can I come second if I run alone. So now you know why am I positive? Because family said the cheapest luxury if you are poor is happiness. Father said failure is an event, never a person. And my PT teacher said stop running. So I had to prove it to myself. I think positive thinking comes with wanting to dream. That you have dreams, you want to make it, you want to do something in life. And optimism comes also from positive thinking. I do not think anything if I am not optimistic. How can you do anything in life if you are not in an optimistic frame of mind? I don't know if that answered your question or not, but I wanted to give them a background of my life, where I come from. Even this hairstyle is a result of positive thinking. This is a very dignified, amazing, good-looking baldness. This is very good. But I'm sure all the people who are losing hair or have lost hair, they will know that there is a stage which comes in life when you are losing hair from here, some of them from here. And I wanted to be an actor. When I landed up in this city on the 3rd of June 1981, I was half bald from here, I was half boiled from here, and I was so thin that I could see through a keyhole with both my eyes. And I wanted to be an actor in India, in Bollywood, in Hindi film industry. Having no hair means you can never become an actor. People used to tell me, why don't you become a writer, why don't you become an assistant, but actor, no. But I was positive that one day I will make it very big even with this hairstyle.
Sir, very nice answer and absolute answer to what.
But now this is the result of my positive thinking that Sir has also stood up. आप बैठे रहिए सर.
True. Yes, I need to stand up and bow to the way you have answered this question. Sir, taking it forward,
जी जी.
when we talk to youngsters, when we talk to colleagues, that you need to be positive, although there are adverse circumstances, think positively and everything will turn around. The question that arises is positive thinking alone absolute, or it should be backed by what kind of mindset, what kind of actions to make it happen? What we have seen is that when you plan systematically, perhaps some vibrations are created positively and you are able to achieve what you have thought of. So what is the way that once positive thoughts germinate in the mind, when you have dreamt something, you want to achieve it, what is the systematic way in which, because when you think positive, it is not necessary that automatically the circumstances will turn positive. There may be many obstacles which will come in the way. So how that ability to address those obstacles also gets developed, energized, and one achieves the goal that one wants to.
Sir, I don't want to say that I'm an authority on how to answer your questions, but when you're asking me these questions, it makes me think. I don't prepare my conversations because I do not want to be presumptuous that this is what you will ask and this is how I'll answer. But it is not only alone positive thinking that will make you what you are. It has to be backed by hard work, major hard work. You cannot just say, I am positive and my thinking is positive and I am just working, I am not doing anything. It has to be backed by, what is the other alternate? Let's think, what is the other alternate? Positive alternate is negative. What will negative thinking make you achieve? What will it make you achieve? My grandfather, because I lived in a joint family, most of my lessons have come from my family. My grandfather used to say, sir, don't go through a problem twice. Once by thinking about it, once by going through it. So I came from a background where apart from thinking positive, there was no alternate. My father was, as I said, a clerk. He used to leave every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, walk for about 12 kilometers, work the whole day, come back at 8 o'clock, walk for again 12 hours, but without complaining. He did not have the luxury of complaining. I thought that was also positive thinking. Not complaining is also an end result of being positive. It gives us a sense of importance when we complain. It gives us a sense of importance when we are angry. It gives us a false sense of importance. I have not used two words in the last 33 years consciously. I, sir, never say I am bored or mood nahi hai. Never. I'll make it easy for you. If I think I've said something very interesting or very impressive, I'll just scratch my head. That means you have to clap. Let's do a rehearsal. No, I'm just joking. I was told behind that there are 1,500 people, enthusiastic people listening to you. So, I wanted to basic. थोड़ा आइए ना सर. आइए चलते आज बातचीत चलते चलते करेंगे सर. ऐसे करेंगे बातचीत. So, I feel I've totally lost it because of the clapping. I lost my. This is what happens with actors. When you call actors, they get clapping kills them. I was wanting to tell you that my father, who led a very simplistic life, but was also positive. My mother, who was looking after 14 people single-handedly, was also positive. My grandfather, who used to teach us Mahabharata, Ramayana, and so was also positive. So I grew up in this atmosphere. My teachers, we were poor. I went to a Hindi medium school. I learnt ABCD in 5th standard. When I came to the city on the 3rd of June 1981, I realized that this city does not pay attention to people who can't speak in English. I could read all kinds of English. I was a drama school student. I was a gold medalist from National School of Drama. I knew Chekhov, I knew Arthur Miller, I knew Shakespeare, I knew Tennessee Williams, I knew every Russian literature, Nikolai Ostrovsky, Dostoevsky. But when it came to talking, I discovered that I can't talk in English. So I wrote to my uncle, who was the only graduate in our family. I said, Chacha ji, I realized that people don't take me seriously in Mumbai because I can't speak in English. So he said, the only way to learn a language is to choose 2 hours in a day and start speaking that language. So I decided that between 4 and 6 every day I will speak in English. All my friends used to run away and say, oh my God, he has come, now we'll talk in English. And now I will proudly say that I've done 10 to 12 Hollywood movies based on my optimism, not on my wanting to learn in English. So hard work is very important, sir. But optimism gives you wings to do that hard work nicely. Optimism gives you a sense of achievement. It gives you a smile. ये हो जाएगा, it will happen, यार. Father used to say, it will happen, don't worry. When people say it will happen, don't worry, it's optimism. It's nothing else. But if I say, oh, I will not work hard, you refer to my first film, sir. I was 28 and I played a 65-year-old man's role. I was not married, obviously I didn't have children, and I was portraying a man who has lost his only son in America and how he copes with his life. That was the film all about. Everybody told me that, what are you doing? You were ruining your career. You are 28 and once you play 65 all your life you will. But I knew that role is great. And also I knew that my stay in this city was not great. In my initial days, my landlady was a washerwoman. When I first landed here, I stayed in a room which was divided by a curtain on one side, and the washerwoman and her 4 children used to stay in that room, in the kitchen, and 4 of us used to stay, 4 students used to stay in this side of the room. On the first day, and when I asked the washerwoman's son, I said, please give me my address. What is this address? And I was in a bad shape. There was not any money. So he gave me my address. And when I read the address, my first address in Mumbai, I smiled and then I laughed. I said, no power can stop me in this city now. My address was Anupam Kher, 2/15, Kherwadi, Khernagar, Kher Road, Bandra East. There were days, 27 days I have slept on a railway platform in Bandra East because I had no money. I had no money. Now I'm an educated person. I'm a gold medalist from drama school. I know world literature. I know world cinema. I know what dignity means. I know what lack of dignity means. And to be sleeping on a railway platform on a bench for 27 days, you lose your dignity. You lose everything. Because you have to sleep at 1:20 because that is the last local train which is leaving, which is stopping. And you have to get up at 4:40 because that's the first local train that is starting. In between, sometimes the police guy will come, sometimes the railway guy will come. So I wrote to my grandfather, sir. I said, what kind of a living I am having in this city? I am an educated gold medalist. Why am I living here? I want to leave the city and go back to Shimla or to Delhi or to Lucknow. So he wrote back. Those days we used to exchange letters. He wrote back, he said, my dear grandson, you have worked very hard. Your parents have sold their jewelry, their watch, etc. to make you reach here. You have stayed back in Mumbai for more than 1 year. Stay back. And then he said one line, which I have to say it in Hindi, I will try and translate in English. उन्होंने कहा, बेटा याद रख, तू इतने दिन यहाँ रहा है, तूने मेहनत की है, तेरे माँ बाप ने तेरे पढ़ाने के लिए अपनी चीजें बेची हैं, रुक जा, क्योंकि याद रख, भीगा हुआ आदमी बारिश से नहीं डरता. Which loosely translated, I will try, a drenched man is never scared of rains. The most positive line on earth, भीगा हुआ आदमी बारिश से नहीं डरता. So today, after 40 years, I am talking to the most amazing organization. I read a lot about you, about my life journey. And what am I saying? It's the result of optimism and hard work. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Wonderful answer with example of your own life.
Yes.
And I think every professional, young or senior, would get lesson of life out of what you have said. And I think it answers even the question whether positive thinking is one time or is it an attitude or habit. As you rightly said, it should be built into, inculcated into you, and it should be a habit and a culture which everybody has to develop. Sir, if we go one step ahead.
Will you please address me as Anupam ji? सर मेरे को सूट नहीं करता सर.
सर मैं
अगर आपको मुझे इज्जत देनी है अनुपम जी बोल दीजिए बस, पर मुझे सर मत बुलाइए सर.
लेकिन आप भी मुझे सिर्फ निहार बुलाइए.
मैं निहार बुला दूं. निहार मेरे दोस्त, क्या हाल चाल है?
बस. थैंक यू अनुपम जी.
मतलब देखिए, मैं आपको बीच में इसलिए टोकता हूँ, हमारी लाइफ, मुझे बोला गया ज्यादा बहुत अंग्रेज यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं, मेरा मतलब बहुत बाहर से लोग आए हैं, that there are delegates from outside. That I was told that there are a lot of delegates from other countries, so I should try and speak in English. I have never spoken so much English in the last 10 years together, but I will try. People who pretend are the people who don't like themselves. That's why they want to be somebody else.
Right.
I like myself very much. From where to where I have reached, it's a good feeling. So, even though in my mind I am thinking, oh, Niharji is calling me sir, but actually it's making me feel stupid. Because you are much more qualified, you are much more respected, you are much more in a different way. Just because I am seen on the cinema doesn't make me anything superior to anybody. So sir is not very important, sir. And we need to have conversations. Problem is, we need to have conversations. We don't talk to people, we talk at people. How can I do that? So that's why these people, जो पीछे वाले भी बैठे हैं, मेरे दोस्तों, मेरा प्यार भरा नमस्कार आपको भी. अगला सवाल किसे?
So Anupam ji, we go one step ahead. Today, if you ask any accountant, he would So with this one question we will...
We'll finish?
No, just one question.
अच्छा,
Then
अभी तो मजा आने लगा था. पीछे से ये लेटर आया, बहुत ज्यादा बोल रहा अनुपम खेर, उसको चुप कराओ. अभी तो मुझे मजा आने लगा था यार.
Right.
ऑर्गेनाइजर को समझ नहीं आ रहा कि क्यों ले आए इसको. नहीं.
Yeah.
ऑप्टिमिज्म का मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं बहुत देर तक आ रहा हूं, उसका मतलब है कि दूसरे किसी को भी आना है.
Okay, one more advance, we advance to the next level. That we say, as accountants, we say that we are living in VUCA world. VUCA is vulnerability, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity.
Okay.
And we need to create and develop VUCA leaders. These are all professional accountants, so for them to be positive is very important, but for them to lead the younger generation, the businesses, the clients is very important. So again, in this absolute uncertainties, situations changing so fast, again a final word on how positive attitude in jet-like speed can be achieved with positive thinking and positive attitude.
Sir, with all due respect to everything, I think it's very important to be also very honest. I'm very lucky to have my chartered accountant, Mr. H.D. Pathak, who taught me honesty. I was the first person in my 100 years of family who saw 10,000 rupees together. Never had anybody seen it. H.D. Pathak Saab is the only person I'm scared of. Pathak Saab very rarely calls me up. But when he calls me up, I know he's going to scold me for something. But in the last 38 years that I have been in movies, I have made money, I have lost money, I have almost gone bankrupt. One thing that he has not let me do is being dishonest. I was a new person. I never had any chartered accountant. There was no need. So, I didn't have any money. If he was not honest, I would have... नहीं, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. आप अंदर चलो. ऐसा नहीं, मुझे लगे, मुझे भी टेंशन हो रही है कि अभी ये खड़े हो रहे हैं. Let me finish, darling. Let me finish. Sir, ये pressure tactics don't work on me. It's like on KBC that Bhompu is going on, or in a quiz show that tuck. Let me finish my chain of thoughts. So apart from whatever that you people are brilliant in your work, I think you need to be amazingly honest so that you create an atmosphere of honest Indians, because that is the most important thing. मैंने खत्म कर दिया सर. I'm very happy to be here, and on that note I would like to finish my conversation, but it has been wonderful. It has been anything else?
No, thank you so much, Anupam. It was wonderful. In brief, you have communicated so many messages.
Very good, sir. Now what I'll do is, before I was planning it differently, but I always do that with my lectures. If people are happy with my lectures, I make a small video that as if I have said the most amazing things, which I have. And you people are very thrilled. नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार. ओह अच्छा, ये मुझे सर कह रहे थे जल्दी जल्दी करो. अब मुझे पता लगा आप सर आ पाए. बहुत अच्छा लगा. एक दिन में 2 बार आपसे, 2 दिन में. So respectable, honorable Deputy Chief Minister ji is here. Wonderful person and a very hard-working, honest man. I was talking about honesty. There is an honest person. ओए, एक मिनट रुक जाओ. So अभी आप लोग पागल हो गए मेरा लेक्चर सुन के और तालियां मार रहे हैं. थैंक यू. हमारी इंडस्ट्री में कहा जाता है रीटेक. ये फोटो छपने वाला है कल. थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, sir. Can I please request our Honorable Advocate Vijay Kumar Jalani, Government Nominee, Central Council Member of ICI, to kindly give his vote of thanks.
It is my pleasure to be among one of the renowned Indian film actor and motivational speaker who has been instrumental in bringing positivity and creating awareness on the life-transforming agendas. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to CA Nihar Jambu Saria, past President ICI, for interactive session and his kind support and guidance in making this mega event successful. And I also thanks all of the participants who cheerfully listened to our motivational actor Anupam Kher ji. Thank you very much.